small changes are better than big changes. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, which is a great book, by the way, he tells the story of the British cycling team. They were one of the worst teams. Despite having lots of resources, they lost miserably. But then they got a new coach, and he didn't change the team by telling them to just try harder or work harder or exercise longer. He just looked for tiny incremental changes that they could improve 1% at a time. So they changed tiny little things like painting the inside of their vans so that they could keep their bikes cleaner. And they improved their uniforms so that they were more comfortable. And they tracked sleep so that they could sleep better. And they went from being one of the most underperforming teams to winning the most gold medals at the 2008 Olympics, and then repeatedly winning the Tour de France. Now, in Atomic Habits, James Clear teaches how a 1% change every day makes you 37 times better by the end of the year. But most people fail to change because they try to make some gigantic improvement, which lasts for a little while, but then they run out of motivation because the change takes so much energy. So when you want to improve your mental health, I do not want you to make some huge monumental change all at once. I emphatically tell my clients to not do that. You'll be much more likely to create real sustainable change by choosing teeny tiny habits that make your life easier over time instead of harder. So when you let these changes add up over time, they snowball. So for example, let's say you start to take vitamins in January and it helps you have just like 1% more energy each day. And then in February, you can use that energy to add in one small change. Like maybe you set a healthy boundary at work, like not answering your emails after 5 p.m. And then that helps you feel less overwhelmed. So that gives you 1% more energy. And then in March, you add in a 10-minute walk to your day, and getting in some exercise improves your sleep, which makes you a little bit less tired each day, which gives you 1% more change in April. Each of these tiny changes helps you have more energy, be a tiny bit healthier, and actually makes your life easier instead of harder. And these positive changes snowball over time and can really help you get out of the rut of depression. So at this point in May, you've got a 5% change, which is 72 minutes more energy than you had in January. And with those 72 extra minutes of energy, you might be able to make a few more tiny changes. Tiny changes are way more effective than that diet that you dropped by the beginning of February, which just made you feel worse about yourself instead of better.